Are you thinking about buying the Huawei Nova Y91? Thinking face wait. Don't click Add to Cart just yet. In this video, we'll uncover the real price, full specifications, and powerful features of Huawei's big battery beast. And yes, we'll also expose its hidden disadvantages that most reviewers won't tell you about. High voltage cell phone. Stay tuned till the end, because what we discovered about the Nova Y91 might completely change your decision. Fire. Price and availability. The Nova Y91 was released around mid-2023. At launch, in some markets it was priced around $280 $300 for the standard configuration. In Egypt, for example, the price was quoted at £9,460 Egyptian pounds for a version with 6GB RAM plus 128GB storage. Of course, local pricing will vary due to taxes, import duties, currency fluctuations, and local variants. In short, for a mid-range phone with a large battery and big screen, the Nova Y91 offers good value, assuming you're comfortable with the trade-offs. Key specifications. Here are the major specs you'll want to know. Display and build. 6.95-inch IPS LCD, FHD plus resolution, 1080x2376, with 90 Hz refresh rate. Dimensions. Approximately 171.6 by 79.9 by 8.9 mm, weight approximately 214 grams. Body materials. Likely mostly plastic given the price tier, with a large footprint due to the big screen and battery. Processor and memory. Powered by the Qualcomm Snapdragon 684G chipset, 6nm process. Good for everyday tasks and moderate usage. RAM, storage options. 6GB or 8GB RAM and 128GB or 256GB storage in some markets. No mention of microSD expansion slot in some spec sheets, so you may be limited by internal storage. Cameras. Rear. 50 megapixels, main wide, plus 2 megapixels, depth or macro sensor depending on region, in many markets. Front. 8 megapixels selfie camera. Video capture. 1080p at 30fps for the rear camera in many regions, no strong support for 4K. Battery and charging. Massive 7000 mAh battery, one of the standout specs for this phone. Wired charging at 22.5W is supported. No wireless charging mentioned, and large battery means more weight. Software and other features. Runs EMUI 13, originally a variant of Huawei's UI. Note that Google Play services may not be supported depending on region. Connectivity. USB Type-C, Bluetooth 5.0, Wi-Fi, dual band, in many markets. Stereo speakers appear in some reports. Features. What the Nova Y91 does well. The Nova Y91 brings several advantages, especially when you consider its mid-range positioning. 1. Large screen and smooth refresh rate. The 6.95 display with a 90 Hz refresh rate gives a responsive feel compared to the usual 60 Hz in many budget phones. This is good for scrolling, apps, video watching. 2. Massive battery life. With a 7000 mAh battery, you can expect very long usage before recharging. Ideal for heavy users, travelers, or those who don't want to charge frequently. 3. Decent performance for everyday use. Snapdragon 680, 6nm, is a modern chip for the 4G era, efficient, capable for browsing, social media, moderate gaming, and multitasking. Pairing with 68GB RAM helps. 4. Competitive camera resolution. 50 megapixels main rear camera is solid for this price tier, giving you the chance for good daylight shots. 5. Stereo speakers and big battery equals good media experience. If you watch lots of video or listen to audio, the large screen, big battery and stereo speakers, in some markets, combine for a more immersive experience. 6. Value for money. At an approximate price of $300 or equivalent in local markets, you're getting specs that before a few years ago would cost much more. If you don't need bleeding-edge specs, this is compelling. Disadvantages. What to consider before you buy. Of course, no phone is perfect, and the Nova Y91 has trade-offs you should be aware of. 1. Number 5G support. The device uses a 4G chipset, Snapdragon 684G. So if you are in a region where 5G is available and important to you, this is a disadvantage. 2. Google Play services, app access issues, depending on region. In many markets, Huawei devices may not ship with Google Play services due to the company's restrictions. That means you may have limitations in app compatibility or must rely on alternative app stores. This can affect usability for some users. 3. Camera performance is decent but not class-leading. While a 50-megapixel sensor sounds good, in many reports the camera falls behind top-tier flagship phones, especially in low light, has no optical image stabilization, OIS, in many cases, and video quality is limited to 1080p. 4. Bulk and weight. The large battery and large screen come at the cost of size and weight. Approximately 214 grams is heavier than many phones, and dimensions are large. That means less pocket-friendly. 5. Charging speed moderate. 22.5W charging is fine, but compared to some competitors offering 33W, 65W or higher, it is slower. For a large 7000 mAh battery, that could mean longer charging times. 6. No micro SD expansion or some compromises in storage. Some spec sheets indicate no micro SD slot, meaning you're stuck with built-in storage. Also, while 128GB or 256GB is generous, if you shoot a lot of video you may still fill up. 7. Some features missing or limited. Depending on region. No NFC in some markets, no FM radio in some, perhaps fewer software updates or slower update schedule than flagship phones. Make sure you check your local variant. Summary. Is the Huawei Nova Y91 worth it? If you're looking for a value-oriented smartphone with a large display, however, if you do need 5G connectivity, Google Play services, in full, top-tier camera performance, especially in low light, or ultra-fast charging, you might want to compare with other phones in your budget range. For buyers in regions where the model is available, and the price is as expected, it offers a nice balance of features and cost. Always check the local version, variant, warranty, and whether the model supports all the mobile bands and services you need, e.g., Google services, NFC, etc. If you like, I can compare the Nova Y91 against its closest competitors, for example in the under $400 segment, and highlight what you lose or gain. Would you like that comparison? At the end of the video, I hope you liked it. Thank you for watching. See you in a new video.